fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty Hi-Yo Silver, the Lone Ranger.
Gramps?
Yes, Jim, what is it?
Are we going to move away from here?
Well, whatever gave you that notion?
Well, after that letter came the other day, I heard you and Sarge talking about it.
You did?
Yeah, something about the ranchers trying to make us leave. Don't they like us?
Ranchers never like homesteaders, Jeb. They want the land for their cattle.
We aren't going to leave, are we?
Why, this is our home, Jeb. Someday we'll tear down this shack and we'll build a real home.
Will it be big and white, like the house the Yankees burned in Atlanta?
Perhaps not that big, Jeb, but it'll be a place you can be proud of.
I'm proud of this place. Nobody else in Deep Valley has a big desk like yours, or a picture of his great-great-grandfather.
Those things belong to the past, Jeb. They look out of place here.
Corporal, I blew taps 15 minutes ago.
I was talking to the commanding officer.
That's no excuse. Now, you hit the hay before I court-martial your backside.
You're all right, Sarge. Night, Gramps.
Good night, Jeb.
You want anything, Colonel?
No, thanks. Sarge, the boy heard us talking about that threatening letter.
Well, quit worrying, Colonel. You and me went through Shiloh and Gettysburg, all right. We'll take care of these beef jockeys, all right.
I hope so, Sarge. I sincerely hope so.
Boss ought to be here by now. What's keeping him?
Relax, will you?
Now we're wasting time. There's only one way to handle a man like Colonel McCauley. That's with a shooting iron.
Brady figures there's no sense in killing a man when all you got to do is scare him.
Colonel's a pretty tough old bird. Take more than a scare to make him turn his land over to Grady.
Put on your hoods. Let's get started. All right, boss.
Wouldn't toward me. You can't come busting in here like this.
Shut up. What's the meaning of this
You got a warning, didn't you?
Oh, so you sent that scurrilous letter?
Yeah.
Now, I should have known that men who write anonymous letters would be afraid to show their faces.
Never mind the side remarks. When are you leaving?
I have no intention of leaving.
I think you'll change your mind.
I don't know who you are or whom you represent, but the government leased me this land under the provisions of the Homestead Act, and I have the privilege of...
This is cattle country, mister. It wasn't meant for farming.
There's still room for cattle.
Not with you homesteaders hogging the water, building fences, and putting up shacks. We're gonna run you out.
In other words, you're taking the law in your own hands.
You Southerners didn't think much of law and order when you started a civil war, just so you...
Get out of this house. Get out or I'll use a horse upon you and...
Gramps! Gramps! Who are those men?
Don't be afraid, Jeb. They're not going to hurt you. Sarge, show these gentlemen out.
You're a stubborn old fool. You'll be sorry.
I think we better get you back to bed, Corporal.
Why are they dressed so funny?
I'll tell you all about it in the morning.
You heard what the Colonel said.
Somebody ought to warn the old coot that a homesteader has to live on his land for 5 years before he gets title to it.
We know that.
I got a feeling the Colonel's not going to make it. Let's go. When your fences are torn up and your barn burns down, don't think it's an accident.
We'll start here.
Hey! That's our fence. You leave it alone.
Now, wait a minute, Sonny. Some steers must have knocked it down. We just want to fix it for you.
I saw you knock it down. I'm going to tell Gramps. Hey, Gramps!
Shut up, you little brat.
Leave me alone! Gramps, Sarge!
Told you to shut up.
We better pull out of here.
What about the kid? He'll be able to identify us.
Bring him along. We'll decide what to do with him later. A masked man.
Let's get out of here.
Are you hurt, son?
No. Who are you?
Don't be afraid of my mask. I'm a friend.
I guess you must be. Those fellows sure ran when they saw you.
What them try to do?
caught them trying to tear down our fence, the sneaky cowards.
Do you know who they are?
No, but last night some men with hoods over their heads came to the house. Gramps got awful angry and told them to get out.
Do you think they were the same men as these?
And I don't know. Hey, you want to see my gold mine?
Boy, have gold mine?
Yep, right over here. Come on, I'll show you. See? That's my name up there.
Is your grandfather Colonel Stuart McCauley by any chance?
Yeah, how'd you know his name?
Well, Colonel McCauley was one of the South's most distinguished soldiers.
He still is. Now here's how the mine works. I put that ore in a sled I made and haul it down to the creek. Then I pan the gold out.
Well, that's quite an operation.
I'll say. Sarge taught me how. He was Gramps' orderly and he knows about everything.
You get much gold?
Sure, lots of it. Of course, it's only pretend gold. Sarge says it's really pie something or other.
Pyrite. Most people call it fool's gold.
That's it. Here, you want some? I got lots of it.
Thank you. That's very generous of you, Jeb. But can you tell us anything more about the men who came to your house last night?
You better ask Gramps. You wear a mask all the time?
Most of the time.
Gosh, I should think you'd...
Hey, Jeb, come and get it.
Misko, want to eat with us?
No thanks, Jeb. But tell Colonel McCauley that we'd like to talk to him after lunch.
Fine, and I'll show you my pony. Bye.
Bye.
Him fine boy, Kimasabi.
He certainly took things calmly.
We trail men who break fence.
No, Tana, we better talk to Colonel McCauley first and find out just what's going on.
If boy tell truth about men who come to house, Colonel need help.
Yes. If the West is to grow and prosper, settlers must be protected from men who substitute violence for the law. We'll find a place nearby to camp.
What me do with rocks?
Well, I don't think Jeb would be offended if you just put them back.
Kimasabi,
What is it?
this not look like fool's gold.
Let me see it. That does look like real gold.
That's what me think.
Pyrite and gold aren't often found together. That's probably why no one took Jeb's mine seriously.
Maybe men who tear down fence take him seriously.
If there is gold on the Colonel's property and he doesn't know about it, that might explain a lot of things. Let's see if there's more of it.
Hey, boss.
I thought I told you not to come here.
I had to. We ran into trouble.
What?
The Colonel's kid caught us tearing down the fence.
Fools, I told you to be careful.
We could have taken care of the kid, all right, but a masked man and an Indian showed up and started shooting at us.
A masked man.
That's right. Maybe we're not the only ones after gold on the Colonel's place.
Then we are in trouble. Where's Al?
At the shack.
Good. You stay here and keep out of sight.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to see the Colonel. If somebody else knows about that gold,
We can't waste any more time trying to scare him off.
Hello, Mr. Brady.
Howdy, Sarge. Is the Colonel busy?
No, come in.
Well, how do you do, Mr. Grady? We haven't seen you for weeks.
Howdy, Colonel.
The Sarge fetched some coffee.
Oh, no coffee for me, thanks.
Won't you sit down?
Yes, thanks. Colonel, I heard in town that you've been having trouble.
Oh, just some hotheads trying to throw a scare into me that I don't think is serious.
But it is serious. The ranchers mean business this time.
Have they been threatening you?
No, see, I've lived here for a long time, and I got men to protect my property. What they're after is the newcomer, the man who hasn't established himself.
They're not going to drive me out. I'll fight back.
Yeah, I'm sure you will, Colonel. But I think we can fix it so you won't have to fight.
What do you mean?
Well, your 160 acres are next door to mine. I could buy you out.
You know I can't sell. It'll be another 4 years before I own this land.
But you could relinquish your homestead claim, and I could file on it. I'll give you $2,000 for the place.
2,000.
It's worth that much to me.
$2,000. That means I could build a real home for Jeb. Perhaps even return to Georgia.
Why, of course you could. And I'd be able to double the size of my farm.
But are you sure it would be legal?
Positive. All you have to do is sign this letter to the government claims agent saying that you're relinquishing your claims to the property. Then I'll file my claim on it.
You were quite sure that I would agree, weren't you?
Now, why not? It's a fair price, and we both benefit on the deal.
I suppose so, only...
Only what?
Oh, nothing. I guess I'm just getting to be a suspicious old fool. Where do I sign?
Right here.
Gramps!
Yes, what is it, Jeb?
He's here. The masked man I told you about.
This is no time for make-believe games. Now run along.
Colonel McCauley?
He is masked.
I wouldn't do that. I'm no outlaw, Colonel McCauley.
Who are you?
A friend.
My friends don't wear masks.
I'm glad to know that. Didn't Jeb tell you what happened this morning?
Why, I guess he did, but the boy has such a wild imagination, I thought he made it up.
Gramps, I told you he was real.
And so were the men who tried to tear down your fence.
I apologize for doubting you, sir. Do you know who the men were?
No, but I know why they've been persecuting you.
So do we. The ranchers want the land for themselves.
The ranchers in this area are honest and law-abiding men. I doubt if they're responsible.
Then who is?
Somebody who knows the truth about Jeb's gold mine.
What?
Jeb's gold mine?
Here, look at this.
Oh, I'm afraid you're deceived, sir. This is only fool's gold. The boy makes a game of mining it.
Look more closely, Colonel. It's not pyrite, it's gold.
You plenty rich man.
I knew it, Gramps. I knew we'd be rich someday.
Hold on, Jeb. If this is a joke, sir, it's an uncommonly cruel one.
It's no joke. There's a large vein of ore close by the pyrite deposits.
You're sure?
You come look, we show you.
If it's true, it means we'll be able to... You'll pardon me, gentlemen, but I'm quite overwhelmed at this stroke of fortune.
Gosh, Gramps, we can build that house. We can even buy the plantation back if you want to. Sarge can get his leg fixed, and I'll buy me a steam engine.
So that's why you wanted to purchase my claim. You knew, didn't you?
Why, of course I did. I wouldn't do an underhanded thing like that.
Did anyone else show an interest in buying your claim?
No one, sir. Mr. Grady, I wish I could believe you. I wish I could regard this as a mere coincidence.
Your insinuation is deliberately insulting.
I'm afraid it is.
In that case, I'll bid you good day.
I never did like that man. You run and tell Sarge what's happened, then we'll go up and have a look at our mine.
I bet he won't believe me.
I can hardly believe it myself. You gentlemen will share in our good fortune, of course.
No, thank you, Colonel.
But I insist. You've made me the happiest of men.
Judging from the expression on Grady's face when he left, your happiness may be short-lived.
Oh, I'm not afraid of Grady. What can he do?
As a homesteader, you're in a peculiar situation because you don't really own this land. If anything happened to you, it would revert back to the government.
I hadn't thought of that.
I'm afraid that Grady, or whoever is in back of these threats, will think of it soon enough.
Anything wrong?
Everything. Had the colonel all ready to sell, and that masked man turned up and told him there was gold on the place.
Told him. Well, that ruins our whole scheme.
Yeah, I'm not going to give up that easy.
What are you looking up?
Homestead law.
Well, how do you figure that's going to help me?
Shut up. Yeah, here it is. Homestead rights may not be sold, assigned, or bequeathed. In the case of death, land so leased reverts to public domain. Give you any ideas?
Sure, but anything happens to the colonel and you claim his property, people around here are going to be mighty suspicious.
Let them be suspicious, as long as they can't prove anything.
What's your plan?
As soon as it's dark, you and Al are going to the colonel's and take care of him. It's as easy as that.
And where will you be?
In town, at the sheriff's office, establishing an alibi.
Oh, that's great. We do the dirty work and you establish an alibi.
Look, I'm the one that needs an alibi. You don't. Nobody knows that you and Al are anywhere near Deep Valley.
All right. But I'd feel a lot better if that masked man wasn't hanging around. What's he after, anyway?
Now, don't worry about him. He may be useful.
Useful?
Yeah. Somebody's got to be blamed for the colonel's death.
Not bad, boss. Not bad at all.
Here's another chump. I bet this is the biggest gold mine in the whole world.
Well, I don't know about that, but it's big enough to suit me.
Hey, Gramps, look at the size of this.
Yes, that's fine, Jeb. And you really think I'm in danger?
There's a fortune in gold here, Colonel McCauley. Many a murder's been committed for less.
But what can I do? No matter how strongly I feel about it, there's no proof against Grady.
Suppose we force him to show his hand.
The only way he'll show his hand is by trying to murder me.
Exactly.
Are you suggesting that I allow him to make an attempt on my life?
We can set a trap for him.
A trap?
It's an old trick, but we have time enough to prepare it.
What is it?
Well, tonight, after Jeb has gone to bed, we'll close all the windows but one.
Go ahead. I'll stay here and cover you. Now watch your step.
All right.
Keep your hand away from that gun.
Other man gets away, Kimasabi.
We'll take care of him later. Get up, you're not badly hurt. Take it off, Tonto.
Him not Grady.
No, he looks more like a gunslinger named Al Davis. Did Grady hire you to kill Colonel McCauley?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I think you do. Come on. Inside.
So I'm to have the privilege of meeting my murderer face to face. Our little trick worked well, didn't it?
Trick? That's right, Davis. You shot at a dummy that we made up to look like Colonel McCauley.
Gramps, he's one of the men who tried to tear down our fence.
I'm sure he wishes that were the only charge against him. Sarge, I think the corporal better turn in.
Aw, shucks, just when the fun's starting.
No talking in the ranks. Come on.
Aw, gee.
Are you going to tell us who hired you?
I got nothing to say.
You mean you're willing to go to prison to protect Grady?
I don't know anyone named Grady.
Then we'll get the sheriff. Maybe he can refresh your memory. Colonel, will you help him take his coat off? Tonto better look at that wound before we leave.
Why, certainly, but you don't need to delay on that account. Sarge has probably dressed more wounds than any man in the army.
I sure have. We'll leave him here with you, then. Be careful.
Don't worry. Sarge and I have taken a good many prisoners in our time.
I'm sure you have. We'll be back soon.
Kimasabi. You go for sheriff, too?
No, Tonto. While you go into town, I'm going to try and follow the trail left by Al's partner.
That's hard to do at night.
There's a full moon, and I'm quite sure the trail will lead to Grady's place. Let me have that hood and coat.
So why you want this?
Well, Al claims he doesn't know Grady, but I have a hunch that Grady will know Al, particularly if he's wearing this outfit.
That plan plenty dangerous, Kimasabi.
I'll be careful. Come on.
Well, you win again, Sheriff. That's enough for me.
It's not late, Jim. How about one more game?
No, not tonight. Tomorrow's a busy day.
Well, thanks for dropping by.
Pleasure's mine. Say hello to your wife.
I'll do that.
I'll be seeing you.
Good night. What do you want, Agent?
You come quick, Sheriff. We catch fella who tried to kill Colonel McCauley.
What?
Them shoot through window, but Colonel not hurt.
When did this happen?
Short time ago. Other fella get away, but Kimasabi follow his trail.
Kimo?
My friend, you come, Sheriff.
Sure, right away.
Al, how did you get here? I thought...
Get your hands up.
What's got into you?
You ran away, you dirty yellow little...
But I thought you were dead.
If you'd have stuck around a little longer, you might have found out different.
Now, look, Al, put the gun down and listen to reason.
Stay where you are. I ought to kill you right now, but I want Grady to find out what kind of a rat you are. Where is he?
He's not back from town yet.
I guess Grady and I are going to be splitting your share of the Colonel's mine.
Sure, Al. Anything you say, but stop pointing the gun at me, will you?
I guess I've heard enough.
Huh?
Now get over against that wall.
You're not Al.
Don't worry about Al. He's been taken care of.
Then who are you?
Never mind who I am. Now get over against that wall.
What are you going to do?
We're going to wait for your friend Grady to return from town.
You won't have to wait. Don't draw. Put your hands up, mister.
Boss, am I glad to see you.
Your little scheme backfired, didn't it?
Not completely. By this time, the sheriff has arrested Al Davis.
He won't talk. Even if he does, it's his word against mine.
I know what you're thinking, Grady, but it won't work.
Why not? You're just gonna disappear.
I have a friend who's able to prove that I came here.
How?
I left a trail.
Thanks for telling me. I'm good at covering trails.
How can you cover a trail if you don't know what signs to look for?
I'll take my chances. Untie him. And don't try anything.
All right.
You're making a big mistake when you think you can interfere with a man.
On your feet, Grady. We're going to see the sheriff.
You know, all these years I've dreamed of returning to Georgia with enough money to buy back the old plantation. I was going to rebuild the house and refurnish it and make it the showplace it used to be.
You should be able to make your dream come true now, Colonel.
No, if a man's going to dream, he should dream of the future, not the past.
You decide to stay here in Deep Valley?
Yes, Tonto. Jeb belongs to the future, and the future lies here, not in an old man's dreams.
Gosh, Gramps, I'd have gone back with you.
I know, Jeb, but it wouldn't have been right. Now that Grady and his gunmen are behind bars, we're going to build that house we talked about.
Hooray!
I think you've made a wise decision, Colonel.
Only possible because of you, sir. Are you sure you can't be persuaded to stay with us a little longer?
Thank you, Colonel, but Tonto and I have other work to do. Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye,
Goodbye,
and bless
Sarge.
you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Jeb.
Jeb, I want you to remember that man so you'll be able to tell your grandchildren about him.
My grandchildren?
Yes, I want you to be able to tell them that you knew one of the greatest men the West ever produced.
Sure, Gramps, but I don't even know his name.
His name isn't important, Jeb. He's the Lone Ranger.
Silver!